All right. Have you ever seen like a relationship drama unfolding online and you just cannot look away? It's like a car crash, but with feelings.
Oh, yeah. Today we are diving deep, maybe head first, into this Reddit story that is just
Right.
wow. It's completely bonkers. Think soap opera, maybe crazier.
Totally. We've got the original Reddit post, we've got the updates from our best of Redditor updates. It's a whole journey.
Right. And it centers on this one original poster, OOP, and her marriage hitting some, let's say, serious turbulence thanks to a very, very persistent ex-girlfriend.
So here's the mission for you listening. We're going to unpack this absolutely wild situation, try and figure out what on earth happened, maybe learn something about relationship boundaries.
Or, what not to do. Definitely some lessons in what not to do here.
Exactly. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get this, we got to go back a bit. The original post itself is, well, it was fresh when it landed, but
Yeah.
the backstory,
Yeah.
that's key.
Lay it on us.
Our OOP, she's 32, married for 3 years to her husband who's 38. Seems normal enough on the surface.
Okay. Waiting for the butt.
But rewind 5 years, back when they first started dating. Turns out, Mr. Husband was kind of seeing someone else at the same time. Her name's Angela. She was 24 back then.
Oh, hold up. So dating two people, like officially, or that's already messy.
Well, messy enough that OOP wasn't okay with it. Pretty
Yeah.
understandable, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
So she gives him the ultimatum, the classic her or me deal.
And he chose OOP, presumably, since they got married.
Yep, he chose OOP. They started dating exclusively, did the whole thing, relationship proposal, wedding bells, 3 years of marriage. Seemed like they put all that behind them.
Until, let me guess, Angela returns.
Bingo. But the setting is almost comical. A boba shop, like 3 weeks before the first Reddit post.
No way. Just, oh, hey, remember me? Pass the tapioca. Awkward.
Super awkward.
Yeah.
Apparently they had a conversation, husband and Angela. OOP was there, saw it all, clearly uncomfortable.
I bet that shadow hanging over them. Yikes.
And that discomfort, it wasn't unfounded. Because, 2 weeks after the boba incident, OOP glances at her husband's phone.
Uh-oh. Never a good sign when you happen to glance at the phone.
And sees Facebook messages from Angela.
Called it. What was the excuse? Just catching up. Old friends.
Pretty much. He claimed it was just casual, nothing serious. But OOP, understandably, felt super weird about it. She asked him point blank to stop talking to her and unfriend her.
Makes sense. Boundaries, people. Did he do it?
He did, reluctantly, according to OOP. But he did unfriend her.
Okay. Maybe that's the end of it. Please tell me that's the end of it.
Oh, if only. Fast forward to the night right before OOP makes the nearest post. Things go from 0 to 60.
Don't tell me. Angela again.
Angela again. But this time, it's like a full-on meltdown aimed at the husband, texts, calls, just spamming his phone.
Oh, boy. What was the emergency this time?
She's apparently crying hysterically. Says her mom is really sick. She's got no one else. She needs comfort, needs him.
Oh, come on. That is manipulative 101. What did the husband do? Please tell me he saw through it.
Well, OOP told him not to go. Explicitly. I'm not comfortable with this. Don't go.
Yeah.
They argued about it. And he went anyway. Physically pushed past her, apparently.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
That's not just ignoring boundaries. That's like actively stomping on them.
Exactly. A major, major breach of trust. So OP does what seems pretty reasonable at that point.
Kicked him out. Please say she kicked him out.
She kicked him out, told him to leave.
Good for her, seriously.
He was gone for about 3 hours, then came back, knocking on the door.
Let me guess, she let him back in.
Nope, she held firm, told him again, you can't stay here tonight. So he left again.
Okay, respect. That takes guts when you're in the thick of it. So that brings us to the first post, right?
Yeah.
Her asking Reddit what to do.
Pretty much. She's reeling, trying to figure out what just happened, and then 8 days later, she posts an update.
Okay, update time. What's the scoop?
Well, first off, she mentioned she's been sick, probably from all the stress, just trying to process everything. She also pushed back against some comments saying she was being controlling.
Yeah, that's not controlling. That's having reasonable expectations about your partner not running off to comfort their ex who they were dating while dating you.
Exactly her point. She clarified her boundaries about exes, especially this ex, given the history. It wasn't about control, it's about respect and feeling secure.
So did Mr. Knight in Shining Armor come back?
Eventually, yeah. He came home later,
Oh,
and the first thing he did, took a shower and went to sleep.
seriously. No immediate, okay, we need to talk. Just shower time. That's
Right.
weirdly specific and kind of avoidant.
Very. They
Mhm.
didn't actually talk properly until the next day.
All right, so what was his side of the story? Let's hear it.
His version is basically Angela friends him on Facebook after the boba shop.
Mm-hmm.
He ignores it at first.
Yeah.
Then she sends a message request.
Okay.
And this is where it gets darker. He shows OOP the messages, and apparently Angela was sending him stuff implying she was suicidal. Really heavy messages about self-harm, her addictions.
Oh, man. That's tough. Because on one hand, it's clear manipulation, but on the other, you feel like you can't just ignore that.
Precisely the dilemma he claims he was in. He said he only responded because he was genuinely worried about her hurting herself. Their chats, he insists, were only about her mental health struggles.
Okay. But wait, didn't you say something about her having a boyfriend?
Ah, yes. The plot twist OOP uncovered. Turns out, Angela wasn't quite so alone in the world. She had a boyfriend, a 51-year-old boyfriend.
51. Okay, that adds another layer of weirdness. So she has a partner, but she's leaning on her ex with suicide threats. Yikes.
Yep. So the husband claims this cycle repeated. Angela sends worrying messages. He feels obligated to respond out of fear she'll do something, but he swears he wasn't initiating contact and didn't respond every time.
Yeah.
Until that night he left.
The night she called crying about her mom.
That's the one. He says Angela called him, totally hysterical, wailing that she'd taken pills because her mom was sick and she couldn't cope.
So he rushes over there like a hero.
He rushes over there, finds her acting really strangely, but she refuses to go to the hospital.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
You should, because then Angela confesses. She faked the whole thing, the overdose, all of it.
Get out! Why?
Her explanation was something else. She said her mom was sick, and she felt like her mom was her only support, and she needed him, the husband, but knew he wouldn't come unless it was a huge emergency. So she faked it.
That is beyond manipulative. That's seriously messed up. How did the husband react?
He claims he started doubting her story, even about her mom being sick at that point.
Yeah.
Said he finally realized how manipulative she was being and just left. Didn't know where to go, so he just drove around for a while before coming home.
Wow. Okay, so OOP hears all this. What does she do?
She needs time, space, tells him
Yeah.
she needs to process everything, goes to stay with her parents. They have a brief chat before she leaves, but yeah, she needs distance.
Smart move. I would too. That's a lot to take in.
But the drama doesn't take a break just because she's at her parents'. While she's there, trying to get her head straight,
But no. What now? Angela finds her parents' address.
not quite that bad, but still awful. She gets a message on Instagram from a burner account, totally anonymous.
Okay. What did it say?
It wasn't words, it was a picture, a screenshot, supposedly from Angela's private Instagram story.
Don't tell me.
Angela, in lingerie, with some kind of caption that was clearly meant to taunt OOP, like rubbing salt in the wound.
Oh my God. That is next level vindictive. Just, wow. Angela sounds like a nightmare.
Truly. So that brings us to the second major update, about a month and a half after the first one.
Okay, deep breaths. What happened next? Did OOP stay at her parents'?
She eventually went back home, and she confronted her husband about that lingerie photo.
Good. What was his excuse this time? Let me guess. His account was hacked.
Even dumber, if you can believe it. He dismissed it. So the caption was just song lyrics.
Song lyrics in a lingerie photo sent anonymously to his wife right after all this drama. Is he for real?
That was pretty much OOP's reaction too. Denial, deflection, zero accountability. They argued about Angela constantly for days after that, mostly just ending up ignoring each other. The tension must have been unbearable.
I can't even imagine. But wait, there's more, isn't there? This story just keeps giving.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really damaging for OOP personally. She gets fired from her job.
What? Why?
She'd been a receptionist there for 5 years. Suddenly, her boss gets a flood of complaints about her, prank calls to the office, all targeting her.
Let me guess who OOP suspects is behind that little campaign.
Angela and her friends. Yep. Well, there's no concrete proof. The timing is just too perfect, right? Right when things escalate, suddenly OOP's job is under attack.
That's horrible. Losing your job over your husband's ex's psycho games. That is awful. How did the husband react to that?
More dismissal? Around the same time, OOP catches him stalking Angela's Instagram profile.
Of course she does.
His excuse. He was just checking up on her after everything. And when OP voiced her suspicion that Angela got her fired, he apparently brushed it off. Basically called her paranoid.
Unbelievable. The lack of support is staggering.
It gets worse. One night he comes home, hammered, like drunk off his face.
Let me guess, he wasn't alone.
Well, he had some interesting accessories.
Yeah.
Lipstick on his collar and glitter.
Lipstick and glitter. Okay. There is literally no innocent explanation for lipstick and glitter when your marriage is already on fire because of another woman. None.
You think? Huge argument, obviously. He leaves again. Stays away for days this time.
Good riddance, maybe.
Then he comes back bearing gifts,
Right.
flowers, food, the whole apology tour.
Oh, brother, what's the story now? The glitter fairy attacked him.
His story was convoluted. He went out drinking to de-stress. Okay. Some random woman supposedly kissed him at the bar, but he totally pushed her away. He swore nothing happened.
Right. And the Angela connection.
Then he admits, okay, fine, he did see Angela. Just once. And she kissed him, but again, he totally rejected her advances.
The credibility is just zero. absolutely zero at this point.
OP clearly felt the same way. She had had enough. She asked for a separation, packed her bags again, and went back to her parents.
Finally. It sounds like the only sane option left.
It really does. It's the point where she chooses herself and her own sanity over, well, over whatever that mess had become.
So is that where it ends? Are they separated, divorced?
As of the last update, they're separated. The husband, predictably, hasn't taken it well. He's blowing up her phone now, nonstop calls, texts,
Of course he is.
and he's apparently gotten his family involved, even some of OOP's relatives, trying to pressure her to go back to work things out.
Ugh, the guilt trip brigade. That's rough.
Totally. OB says she's definitely considering divorce, but she's not quite ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
She's thinking about going to therapy first, which sounds like a really good idea.
Definitely. She needs support to navigate this, especially with the family pressure. Is she okay? Like, practically speaking.
She's looking for a new job in her parents' town,
Mhm.
trying to rebuild that stability Angela apparently helped destroy. And she's made it clear she doesn't know if her husband is still talking to Angela, and frankly, she doesn't want to know. Wants to keep it that way.
Can't blame her one bit. Ignorance is bliss sometimes, especially when the truth involves, well, Angela.
Exactly. And she mentioned this would likely be her final update on the situation. She's moving forward.
Wow, what a ride. Just absolute chaos from start to finish, almost.
It really underscores how vital, clear, respected boundaries are, doesn't it? OOP tried to set them, but they were just ignored, then bulldozed.
Yeah, and trusting your gut feeling. She felt uncomfortable from that boba run onwards, and her gut was absolutely screaming the truth, it seemed.
It really was. This whole thing is just a masterclass in manipulation, gaslighting, and a partner's, frankly, spectacular failure to prioritize his marriage.
Makes you think, right? Like, how would you even handle something like this? It's so far out there.
It's definitely a situation you hope you never, ever have to face. The level of drama is just off the charts.
For sure. So I guess the takeaway is trust your intuition, maybe,
Yeah.
and perhaps avoid boba shops if your partner has a complicated romantic history. Just kidding. Mostly.
Maybe. It really leaves you wondering, though, about that line between relationship drama and just outright destructive toxicity. When do you know it's time to just walk away for your own sanity?
Keep questions. Something to chew on. All right, that's probably enough relationship chaos for one deep dive. Whew. Until next time, try not to find glitter on anyone unexpectedly. See ya.